how you doing? Today I wanted to do a video on manifestation, and I want to show you different ways we bring and manifest things into our lives. We can manifest our fears, our dreams, our pain, our self-hate. All of those are things that we can bring into our lives, just because it's something that we think and things. And I want to show you guys, how the power of our mind and the brain works. Okay. First example I want to show is how when parent to child relationship, how the way we talk to our children and the things that we tell them, sometimes we can bring those things to them, put those things into their life unknowingly. I'm not saying it's done in deliberate state, but because we may say that you're stupid, you're slow, whatever things, because they're bad, this is going to happen to you, that's going to happen to you. Sometimes you can manifest that and bring that into their lives. Even your fears, if you're fearful of having your child taken away, or fearful of having your child tampered with, you can end up bringing that to your child, just because those thoughts are being placed there, unintentionally, unknowingly. Energies, they feed off of everything. They feed off of your achievements, your fears, your desires, everything. And you can manifest those things in your advantage and to your demise. I've seen people literally, that's how, like, when you say people gave up, they gave up their will to live. They manifested death. They didn't want life. They wanted death, so they died. That's a manifestation. You've manifested death into your life for whatever reason. It could be self-hate, maybe loneliness, depression, all of those things. And that's why you need to be careful about where your thoughts go. What are you thinking about? How, what your mind frame is. And I try to talk to a lot of people when it comes to depression and things, because you can manifest yourself pretty much to death. Now you can create sicknesses by manifestations, because it's something that you believe. That's why I don't have anything against medical doctors. I like this necessity, it's a way of life, but sometimes things can be manifested onto you. So you have to be careful, because you could be feeling fine. I'm fine. You're going through your day and you're fine, and then, they tell you, they speak it out, you've got something, and all of a sudden now you're sick and you're deathly and you don't know what happened, and before you were told that you were fine. And that's because you weren't manifesting that into your life. It was unbeknownst to you, and your body, it can self-heal and it can self-regulate things if you're willing to believe. I know I've done it in my life and with my body. I had to sit down and figure that out even for myself. What were my thoughts leading me? Why was I coming up with all of these sicknesses that medical doctors knew nothing about? And I had to look at what were my thoughts. How stressed was I? How depressed was I? How anxious was I? Well, am I manifesting these illnesses onto my body? Because you can literally, create a physical element with your mind. I was talking with this person. She has boils, stress induced, and every time when she's talking, and she's not thinking about her skin disease, she was fine, no pain. yeah, everything is fine. She's laughing and she's joking. And then when she starts like talking about, you know, other people, you know, her relationships or something that could be stressful, you see her face exchanges. She's in pain, she's agonized. And my youngest daughter was like, Mom, do you think she could possibly be manifesting this? Because she's like, I noticed that, you know, it's like, you know, she's not in pain when we talk about things that she likes, things, her dreams, her aspirations, where she wanted to see herself. She was fine. But then as soon as she starts talking about, you know, her relationships and, you know, the stress that she's under, then she tends to get in this real agonizing pain. And when I mean agonizing, you know, she's like screaming, yelling, hitting the wall. She's in a lot of pain. And I had to sit her down and let her know, you know, I did a drill, you know, we talked about different things. And as we talked about different things, you know, she was happy, she was content, she wasn't in pain, she was walking fine and everything. And then, you know, her father of her children called and she became pained. Her whole body was in pain. And I remember that happened to me once before also when I was married, just to hear the voice. It was a very tumultuous relationship, but to hear the voice, I was developing ulcers from the stress. And just to hear that voice, I would double over in pain. And at that time, I just looked at it like, wow, you know, I dislike him so much, you know, just to hear his voice, you know, irks me or pains me, you know. And now where I'm at in my life now, I understand that I was manifesting my own pain. My own emotional pain was becoming my own physical pain. And that's why I wanted to put this video out, because a lot of people are in emotional pain. And because they're in emotional pain, it is manifesting itself in physical pain. You know, back pain, nerve damage, non-feeling. I mean, it's just, I have friends, they don't know what's creating it. She feels nothing. She's numb from head to toe. Nothing. Don't know what caused it or anything, but I believe she's had a really tough childhood, a really tough life. And I think, you know, when they say you numb yourself, I believe she manifested a physical numbing. Now she feels nothing. When I mean nothing, I mean she's stepped on glass and didn't even know it, you know, and she'll just keep walking. You know, she's cut her arm, didn't know it until you see the blood on the floor. You know, nothing. She can pull stuff off of the grill. Nothing burns her face. She can stick her face right in the oven when she opens it up to pull out her dinner, and she doesn't know anything that it had happened like that until one of her kids was around. And her kid is screaming bloody murder because the heat from the oven had scorched her arms, and her whole mom's face was sitting in the oven. And she's like, Mom, it's hot. You just don't feel it, you know? And she manifested a physical numbing because of her emotional pain. And I can go on and on. I'm like just tallying. I love talking to people and you know, trying to see, you know, how this is working. You know, medical technology may call it one thing, but I like to call it manifestation. We can manifest what it is that we're thinking. And if we're all like, even the way in the conditions of the world, everybody like manifested like the world is so bad, and then the world is becoming worse. You know, if one person manifests, it's like, you know, those Facebook lives and stuff, it's manifestations. So if one person is sitting there and they're manifesting their own death, you know, so now they get shot up on Facebook, now they're projecting that manifestation out into the world, and now you have more people copycatting it, bringing it out, because that was that one person's manifestation. That's something that they wanted to put out into the world. and it catches. It's just it's interesting to me when I look at stuff like that, how fast things can go either way. It's not just hate, it's also love. If a person puts out something that's very endearing and very loving, like those proposals, where it's elaborate proposals that people take, like a whole village gets together and they create this element to surprise this one person, and then you see it projects a feeling of positivity and love and and peace and happiness, and people want to be like, oh, I wish somebody would do that for me, type of feeling. It goes both ways. So we have to be careful what it is that we're manifesting and putting out into the world. If we want to see more peace, then more people are going to have to, on the inside, not just say it, but feeling one way and saying something different, because that's not genuine. It has to be a genuine manifestation, because the world can't be tricked. Energy can't be tricked. Energy goes by what your energy is. So if your energy is pure and unadulterated love, that is what you're going to radiate. You're going to radiate pure and unfiltered love. But if you're like, okay, I love, but in your heart is still black, your heart is still dark, then that is what's going to manifest. It's going to manifest the dark that you have within. So I always say, do a self-check. Find out, what's going on with you and your body. Address it, honor it, and release it. And that's what it is. A lot of people like to live in their pain. They like to get stuck with, how horrible their childhood may have been, or how horrible their relationship was, or how horrible they feel that life is treating them. And they live in that, and they honor that, and then they wonder why nothing good happens for them. And it's because that's what they're throwing out there. That's what they're telling the world that they want. They're telling the energy, the forces, that this is all that they deserve. So if you want better, you have to be better here. Self-love is going to take the layers and layers of everything off. Every time I see there's this controversy when it comes to people that are overweight. People think that they're overweight because they're lazy. I don't look at it like that. I look at overweight, being overweight is a way of protection. It's layering from hurt or sadness, depression. It's something that's protecting, and it's something that was taught well before. It's not anything that they just got into. It's something. Well, wait a minute. There's some people, because I don't know, I was skinny, but when I was going through my dark time, I gained a lot of weight because I was comfort eating. And as I worked through a lot of my issues, I noticed that my weight started going down, because I didn't need the ice cream to make me feel better. I didn't need to be eating the cookies to make me feel better. I talked it out, honored it, and released it, and I felt better. And then you start loving yourself. And when you love yourself, you want to make sure you exercise. You want to make sure you're eating healthy. You want to make sure you're taking care of your body, because now you're in tune with it. And that is like the biggest thing of love that you can give yourself. When you know that you love, when you know that you're loving yourself, you're going to take care of yourself. And that is what you need to do, when it comes to stuff like that. Take care of you, honestly and truly, genuinely take care of yourself. I probably should have did this online. Can I do this online? Okay, I'm gonna do this.